you doing?
Great, great. It's a pleasure to speak with you today. Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, no problem, man. It's fun. It's been pretty crazy couple of weeks, especially this weekend, so I'm a little exhausted, but happy to talk.
I could imagine, especially after the press and the red carpet premiere. I'm sure it has been. So great. Just wanted to welcome also the Hollywood Geek Reporter readers and listeners. Today we're in for a special treat. We have actor Justin Swain joining us on the phone. Justin stars in Marvel's Luke Cage Season 1 and Season 2, with Season 2 currently streaming on Netflix. Justin is a man of many talents as writer, director, and actor over his career. You may have seen him in Boardwalk Empire, the HBO film Muhammad Ali's Greatest Fight, currently Steven Spielberg's The Post, Law and Order, the TV shows Law and Order, and The Blacklist. So I'd like to start off by congratulating both you and Detective Bailey with the promotion in Luke Cage Season 2.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, Bailey was very happy to be promoted. Become a little bit more of an outdoor cat. So
exactly. You get to head outdoors.
Yeah, they let me out of the office.
There you go. And you get to wear a trench coat, too.
Yeah, I get to dress up in a nice suit and, go around and fight crime.
Did showrunner Cheo Hodari Coker let you know in advance that you were going to have a bigger role this season?
There was no kind of outreach or anything in that regard. Came in to talk to them. I think it's during the second episode where Bailey makes an appearance, and it was just kind of a really great welcome back. And we're going to have some really cool things for you to do this season. Can't wait to share it with you. And that's kind of how it went.
Oh, that's great. So you don't know whether your character was always meant to be in Season 2, like after, was he just supposed to be in Season 1 for a bit, and then you impressed and they put you in Season 2?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. They keep a lot of things really secret of where everything is going to go. It's very guarded in the Marvel world, like what the storylines are going to be, how things are going to play out. So, a lot of us are getting, the information in real time and how things move forward that way. And that's kind of how it works in the Marvel world, because they don't want to give anything away. So it was exciting to be in Season 1, and it was a little, nerve-wracking, because you never know. You might, get a script and it's Bailey wakes up in a pool of his own blood. He's like, no, please, no. But luckily, that wasn't the case. And it was a lot of fun working with the cast and the writers, and they gave me some more to do, and I was grateful for every bit that they gave me. And then it lingered into and moved into Season 2, and they did a lot of really fun things with Bailey, changed a lot and had a nice arc, and I'm excited for people to see it.
Yeah, and speaking of seeing it, have you had a chance to watch the entire season yet? Have you binge watched it?
Oh yeah. So my wife and I, we fired up the Netflix, and we binged the entire first season over this past weekend, and I have to say, it was amazing. It was just fantastic to watch, because as you're watching these things, and the table read, you're there and you're like, wow, I can't wait to see how that scene comes out, or this comes out, or how it all works together. And so to be able to sit back and see the body of work, and what they put together, is led by the incredible writing staff and by Cheo Hodari Coker. They put together an incredible season, and I very much encourage people to crank up the Netflix and sit down and binge it. It's pretty phenomenal.
I agree. Once you watch one, it's like Pringles, right? You just can't stop.
Were you able to binge it this past weekend, or how many episodes have you gotten into so far?
Well, actually, I've had it for a month. So Netflix gave it to me about a month ago, I think. And so I watched it right away, and I've actually been itching to spoiler talk to anyone, but I've had an embargo and I couldn't. Yeah.
So what did you think of that? The final few episodes, it's like some really serious stuff goes down. It's pretty powerful.
It is, and I actually saw it as almost like an homage to The Godfather. So I guess let me just mention we're going to talk spoiler talk.
I didn't hear what you said.
Sorry.
You broke up.
Yeah, sorry. You're breaking up a bit too. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay,
yes.
great. Yes. So I guess I'll just mention for everyone. Maybe perhaps we'll talk spoiler talk. Is that cool, Justin? We mentioned a few spoilers.
I'll give away little things here and there.
Little things, okay.
I'll give little things away, but yeah, maybe be aware we might talk spoilers a little bit.
Yeah, nothing too big. But just I noticed throughout the season, almost like an homage to The Godfather, and also like it's mentioned, Don Corleone's name is mentioned at the end, and there's a scene, I won't give it away, which is pretty much a nice tip of the hat to The Godfather Part 1. And so, Godfather is one of my favorite movies, so it's really great to see that in there.
I thought it was really cool how they snuck that in. And if you go back and rewatch the whole season, you're going to see different little homages along the way, and you'll be able to pick up those little Easter eggs. There's a lot of the people who put this together, they know a lot about history and cinema and Marvel, and there's all kinds of little nods to different movies and the genre. So go back and rewatch it, try to find them. They're pretty cool.
I'm sure that was actually going to be one of my questions. Do you have any, or do you make us aware of any Easter eggs, anything that you picked up?
Watching it along the way. I mean, there is a nice little Stan Lee bits in there. You just got to keep your eyes open. You can see a little thing, a little nod to the master.
Yeah, I
guess that's all I'll say for now. Yeah.
Yeah, because I noticed like one time his photo was in the precinct, and I don't know if it was in season 1 or if it was in the Defenders, or no, perhaps it was in Daredevil. But yeah, no, I didn't notice that. So yeah, I definitely need to rewatch that. Awesome. Speaking of comics, as Detective Bailey isn't modeled after an actual comic book character, I know there is a Detective Bailey in X-Men, but it's no relation to your character, correct?
I don't think that they put those two together, and I don't think that they really cross the worlds that way.
Okay.
I think there's somebody in, I think he's like Jean Grey's brother-in-law or something, but it's a different name. It's Paul Bailey or something.
Oh, okay.
Detective Bailey is Detective Mark Bailey, as he appears in is unique to the Marvel Luke Cage cinematic world.
Very nice. So it's all you. So is there anyone who you're modeling him after or thinking about when you're trying to portray Bailey, Detective Bailey?
I think he's pretty unique. I think a lot of his characterization came out of the first season and built out of the relationship he had with Misty. And that's kind of how I built the character, and then that moves into the second season. And one cute little thing you might keep an eye on or notice is Bailey was very much, like I said, an indoor cat in the first season, and there's a little fun thing he does with his glasses that I do because they're actually my wife's glasses, and when I'm looking closely at something, I have to take them off because it makes me feel sick because it's not my prescription. But Bailey as a character, when he was with that, he was kind of a little more nerdy and stuff in the first season, and as he gets closer back into the world of Misty, I think you might notice the glasses make a reappearance.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of this fun thing where that you can watch some of the physicality and how it changes. And that's my little own personal Easter egg.
Nice.
that I put in there myself.
Very nice.
Watch Bailey's glasses.
Did your wife know about that you were wearing the glasses, or did she see it while you were binge watching?
Oh, she takes full credit for my performance.
Oh, how nice.
My glasses. That's why you're any good. Is you wore my glasses for the show.
That's great. So as season 2 begins, Detective Misty Knight's in a bad place after losing her hand in Defenders. Bailey seems to be her only friend in the precinct. Yet it seems like he's walking a fine line of isolating himself from the other officers. Do you believe that your friendship with Misty has somewhat come in danger since now that you have a new partner and the force has shunned her away? How was acting that fine line with Simone?
It was really fun, and it was really great to work with such fine actors like Simone Missick. She's just an incredible talent, and then to bring in Anthony Smith as my partner, she also is an amazing actor, and being able to kind of play off of what they were giving me to make me feel awkward a little in the scenes made my job very easy. So I really enjoyed that, though, being kind of caught between this older relationship and this new relationship, and trying to maintain both of those friendships at the same time.
I felt bad for you when I was watching that, because I was like, everyone's been in that place, right? And so, yeah, it was very nerve-wracking to, see how Bailey was going to react. And,
yeah, but it was fun to give him that internal life and to have those relationships to play with. And I really, thank the writers for creating that really fun situation for me this season.
Yeah, definitely. Great. So my next question was, like, Luke Cage's Harlem has some issues with dirty police officers. We had Scarf last season. It seems that Bailey, though, is one of the nicest guys at the precinct. Yet many times we've heard in Luke Cage that everyone has a price. I personally wouldn't want to see Bailey turn, and I'm sure most of the audience wouldn't. But I guess it's worth a discussion, as it's a big theme towards the end of the season. Do you think Bailey has a price? Is there anything that would make Bailey turn, do you think?
I can't really commit to that either way, because you never know what's going to happen in the future. What hasn't been presented yet. However, I do think that that Bailey has a moral center, and that everybody in this season of Luke Cage, they're all balancing with their newfound power and where it lives in their world. Like, Luke is famous now, and he's trying to match that with his moral center, and he's wrestling with that. In a little bit of a way, Bailey has a little bit more power. He's been promoted. He's trying to prove himself, and he too has to wrestle with that between his relationships of being like, look, I've been promoted, and in my little way, I've gotten a little more status and power. How do I do that and maintain my relationships, maintain my trustworthiness, maintain my moral center too? Mm-hmm. And so everybody, in some way, shape, or form, is wrestling with that theme in a tiny way in the second season.
I agree. Great. I know the fans would love to see Luke and Bailey team up Luke Cage and Bailey team up in a scene. Would you ever pitch to Chael that Bailey should receive a superpower in an upcoming season? How would?
Oh my gosh! Talk about how amazing that would be. I would love that. If I got a script that said that Bailey has a superpower, I probably would start jumping up and down. So I mean, look, they know what they're doing. They're an incredibly talented group of people.
They do.
And I follow their lead on things. If I could team up with Misty and do a team up and be able to work with somebody as fierce and amazing as Simone in that type of way, and that would be awesome. But you're going to have to tune in and wait and see what happens and see where the writers take it.
Definitely. Was there any discussion that you heard of having Thanos' Soul Stone snap from the Avengers Infinity War affect the world of Luke Cage?
The only place I've heard that discussion has been online. I mean, the Marvel fans.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Are incredible. What?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Could you repeat that?
Oh, sure. No, the only place I've heard any discussion about that's from like the Marvel fan online.
Okay.
But it's amazing because Marvel fans are they're true fans, and they get into it. You can watch and go on Twitter and find some pretty serious debates about the intricacies of the world of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's really fun to see what everyone's coming up with, and it's quite ruckus. So it's a cool thing to kind of tune in online and see what they're saying.
Okay, great. I'm sure most of our fans have watched most of those videos. Okay, so how did it feel to snap on those cuffs at the end? I won't say on who, but I have to say.
So I guess there's a spoiler alert because because I'll tell you this: we won't say the name.
Yeah.
Okay, but I will say it felt really good.
Yeah, I was cheering.
If you look at Bailey's face when he's doing it, and he makes eye contact with Misty for just a moment, you got to know that was a very satisfying click, and it's nice to finally have that guy, dead to rights. So that was very satifying.
Very good, very good. I like to hear that. I was cheering. I was like, yes, finally.
Yeah, man. What an amazing actor Theo is, by the way. To make people, to be that guy and to be that sinister and still have so much charisma and have people want to engage and like, you as a fan want to see that guy get his comeuppance. But at the same time, you're drawn to him, and to be able to pull that type of performance off, Theo, it's got to give him props, man. It was a lot of fun working with him in a limited capacity.
I have to agree. I followed him on Sons of Anarchy, and he has quite a range. Like, even when you think he's bad, he does something that just gets you right in the heart. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, there's just some amazing talent. Working with Mike, getting a chance to work with Mike Coulter and Alfred Woodard. I mean, these are just incredibly talented people. I learn from them every day on set, so it's been a lot of fun, working with everybody.
Do you
what about Mustafa, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
How about Bushmaster?
Oh, the Bushmaster was great, I have to say. Because, with season 1, you had such a great villain with Cottonmouth and then Diamondback. And so, it was a lot, to ask for an actor to, come in after those, great performances, especially Cottonmouth. People are still talking about Cottonmouth with Mahershala Ali's performance. And so, yeah, he did a great job, I have to say, and he really showed that Luke Cage is not invincible.
Yeah, I mean, it's watching those two go at it. What an amazing season! I really enjoyed watching it. It was really fantastic.
I agree. Yeah, no, it's a special treat, especially when I'm a fan of directing and seeing all the color tints, like whenever you see yellow, like Luke Cage is in the shot. And the interweaving of music, and really, Harlem is, for me, another character in the show. And
yeah, they bring in some pretty seriously talented directors as well. I mean,
they do.
Steven Siergic, and they're just amazing people.
Yeah, and the music, the talent from the music, I want to look up some of the musicians because they did such a great job when I was watching. Especially that one guy.
The soundtrack is somewhere. I think you can hunt it down.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Because there was that one guy who was singing, not the magic song, the witch song. When Tilda was creating her potion, he had a heavenly voice, I have to admit.
Yeah. I mean that. The musicians and the people they bring in was really cool. At the premiere party, the premiere was amazing. It was so much fun. At the party, after they played the first episode, basically all of those people who were performing throughout the season were there, and they all started performing, and they put together kind of a concert.
Oh, wow.
And it was really great. Got to be there, and it was almost like being in Harlem's Paradise for real. For a large portion of the night, so it was a lot of fun.
Oh, wow. If your wife can't make season 3 premiere, you know who your +1 could be.
There you go. Yeah, you can wrestle it out with her. She's
okay.
But you guys can figure it out.
Okay. And lastly, I just wanted to ask you 2 questions about your career in the future. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? Be in front of the camera, behind the camera?
I mean, I love being in front of the camera, and I want to continue on this path. It's a privilege to be able to do it, and looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next year with all the Marvel stuff, and that could be pretty amazing. And eventually, there's different projects I've been wanting to get off the ground for years, and I'm hoping that some of this stuff is going to help put some fuel to the fire on those projects, and There's some other ones that are coming up. I know I've read on Deadline that they're making Lord of the Rings into a series on Amazon,
yeah.
I think, and I think they're also doing like a interview with the vampire series. You know, to get a chance to go in and be on something like that would be pretty incredible. I actually wrote a personal letter to Peter Jackson to ask for an opportunity to audition for The Hobbit back when they were casting the new Hobbit movies, and I actually got a response.
Oh, great! Wow!
And I got to go in and audition for The Hobbit. I didn't get it, but it was still a cool opportunity to go in there and audition for them. And so hopefully maybe this time it'll be my day and I'll be able to be on Lord of the Rings or something. That could be cool.
On a weekly basis on Amazon, that would be amazing.
That would be neat. I mean, if they follow through, I just read on that time to put something together. So.
Yeah, awesome. And I know that you said in a previous interview that you have a television show that might be in production in a year or so. Be able to give me a little bit of info?
No, there's nothing. I don't want to, lead people down the wrong path. There's nothing in production yet, but there's different producers that circle a few different projects.
Okay.
And so right now there's some projects out there that people are looking at, and
nice.
Hopefully they get behind the team and we're able to pull it out of the gate and show some really cool, television to some people. So that's what we're working on now as well.
Great. Yeah, I have to say, television over the years has become more entertaining than film in a lot of ways, because you get to see, the characters develop over a course of a season, where in a movie you only have 2 hours and it's a little more difficult.
It's cool. It's the golden age of television. It just keeps going. So hopefully, continue to let people, do shows like Luke Cage. I hope it runs for years. It's really fun and it's a great show to be a part of.
Great. And on that note, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to talk with me in the Hollywood Geek Report. Looking forward to talking to you again in season 3 and any pieces you do in the future.
Yeah, I would love to come back and talk to you again, man. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome. Take care.
Awesome. You too.
Have a good one.